think the bill is clear. The advocate told us about the inclusion of the domestic workers in the Act, of which it's been unconstitutional all along. We are trying to correct that. And also, we spoke about the COID being fault-free, unlike the current moment where it is a fault-based. So if it's a fault-free, then we won't see any faults in the employee being injured. We will pay as compensation fund. We won't say it's the fault of the employee to get injured. So if it's a fault-free, it covers the employee well. And also it mentioned about the pensions that are going to be paid to the beneficiaries. So I think that is a great one. And also he encouraged the employers to report all the accidents proposed in the bill. The other one is the appointment of our own inspectors. We want to enforce our own laws, so we want our own inspectors who will be understanding our laws to the end, so that they can be able to prosecute or recommend prosecution. The inclusion of rehabilitation, I think that one is a great one to medical fraternity. I think they will endorse that. So, with that being said, I'll open for questions or clarity. But remember, your question is not like we will capture it, but we want your written submission. The written submission can be sent to those emails, please. Thank you very much. Now I'm opening for questions.
Is this one good? Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much. I actually have two questions. One question was related to point 8, where you speak about occupational diseases, those having to be obviously registered and reported. Does that include occupational injuries? When you are saying in your wording occupational diseases, is that a disease that is contracted or a condition that is developed? There is obviously space available for an injury that happens. Does that include, that's the package, it's disease and injury. Okay, and then the second question I have is with regards to the rehabilitation services under the 3 sections: social rehabilitation, vocational rehabilitation, and clinical rehabilitation. Would the clinical rehabilitation include physical rehabilitation like physiotherapy, occupational therapy, and so forth? Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lethawo Mankala, advocate and chairperson. I need to make two comments. The first one is a request. It's an announcement that I want to please make. I'm from the South African Board for People's Practices. It's a professional body for HR professionals. I'm with my chairperson here, Kaisi. So we are always constantly looking for HR professionals, because this is where when we gather as HR professionals, we discuss such things. We are having standards that we're working with. There's a framework of standards that we're working with. And as you can obviously see, this is a matter of HR, or not necessarily HR professional only, but the HR professional in any company, any organization, is the one who should be knowledgeable about this kind of matters. So what we do as an organization, we gather and discuss such things. We have also a very good relationship with the Department of Labor, the site of employment, in particular advocate Dolores, because we advise each other, we guide each other to say how do we implement and make sure that we pass the correct wording and implement what the department as a whole is saying. Like I said, it's an HR matter. Thank you for that. My question is consent on that part where it says the removal of the responsibility on the employee, I really need, maybe I didn't understand the reason for that removal to say the employee has to be held responsible. Because how do we enforce them that the individuals or the employees are cooperating with the employer? Because we're having challenges as employers, and I'm also from the employee side. I can understand there's maybe some limitations or disadvantages for them. But how do we make sure that the employees, as much as we advance their right, we must also, on the same note, advance the responsibility? Because, I mean, if the employer, you are doing everything that you can, the employees just decide not to comply. And how then now the act now comes and say, if you don't wear your goggles, you are spraying chemicals, or you don't wear your hard hat, you are working with the compensation, the fund will still pay. But that's right. I'm having problems with most of the time we are advancing rights. We forget to advance responsibilities and accountability on the same note. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anita from Company Consultations. With regards to that, we are struggling to get access to your system. Every time we put in our username and the password that was sent to us, we are denied to capture the IOD. At the end of the day, we can get to the part where we can pull our letter of good standing, but further than that, the system don't allow us access. And then also, the problem that we are discovering is the fact of the matter that people are getting injured due to their own negligence. But now it's granted that the compensation will pay if they are neglected. I struggle to get my head over that.
Good morning, thank you, Chairperson. I want to understand the effect of domestic worker. I hear that you are including domestic worker on the new bill. My lack of understanding is, are you including farm workers when you say domestic workers, or the word domestic, it's broadened to the fact that it includes farm workers and general employees?
Can we give an advocate a chance to respond to this other question when we have another question?
Thank you. The first and the second question, the answer is yes. Occupational diseases, we are also including the injuries. And then the rehabilitation will also include the physical rehabilitation. You know, all those issues that I just mentioned, they will be part of that. And then with regards to the HR practitioner, that was just a comment. And then, but the question was with regards to, you know, those negligent employees. I know whenever we go, you know, this is one of the questions that they are asking. You know, as you are aware, you know, as the compensation, we work very closely with the road accident fund. Remember, if you can get injured at work driving a car, we as the compensation fund, we pay for injured at work. But what we usually do, we will then, at the later stage, claim the money from the road accident fund. So, the road accident fund also, it is now in the process of, you know, coming up with the new legislation of the fault-free, you know, fault-free system. Fault-free system is that, you know, currently if you are driving the car and then you become involved in an accident, you know, you as the owner of the car, the driver, you cannot claim that money. But with the current proposal is that it's going to be a fault-free. For as long as you are on the road, you will not be entitled to get that money. And then also with regards to the compensation fund, we are not saying employees should become deliberately negligent, because as the employer, you've got the right to deal with those employees. You have the right to deal with those employees because they must comply with whatever measures that were put in place for security, for them to be secure. So from our side, we are saying we will continue to pay for that, but as the employer, you must deal with your employees accordingly. Because ultimately it's going to affect you as an employer comes assessment time, because you will be receiving quite a number of injuries in your workplace and we're going to deal with that. But we're saying from our side, we will continue to pay, but it does not take away the responsibility of the employers to deal with those who are contravening, the compliance of whatever, nature. And then domestic workers are not farm workers. Farm workers are covered already. They've been covered all along. They are part of our definition of an employee. It's just that the current legislation explicitly excludes domestic workers as an employee, which is unconstitutional and illegal. Thank you. And the question of the system, do we have people from?
It's fine. The question of the system, I will deal with it.
They will deal with it because
It's an operational
it's an operational matter. They will deal with it at a later stage.
That's been an operational matter now nearly for 2 years.
You can just engage me and you will sort it out.
And they want to add something, my colleague.
Okay, so we have another question.
Good morning. I want to add on the issue of negligence. It does not mean that if the employee was negligent, that what they are doing, that we're going to pay for injured but at the same time, the employee cannot sue on the basis of Section 56. It's only on the part of injury that is sustained, but it's very limited to such injuries only. You cannot take it further because the employee is not negligent, it's only the employee is negligent.
Thank you for that. With regards to the Tzaneen area in Papa, we've got a problem with regards to IODs. When the doctors keeps on sending the persons that is getting injured, they keep on sending them backwards and forwards. They don't want to assist. They don't want to treat the IOD. We have to, in the end of the day, start paying out of our own pockets from the company side for the people to get admitted or get the necessary treatment. Where's the liability from the doctor's side? Or what does the government do about that?
An answer to her question and then a question to you.
Sorry, can you use the mic, please? We are recording.
Yes, just a reply to you on IODs from the medical field. I'm from AFIRAT. We are compliant. Your paperwork has to be in place for us to submit. If the paperwork that you send your injured worker to us is not compliant with the laws of the Department of Labour, our hands are tied. We had a few of those, which we sometimes sort out for the companies on our own time. Now the Section 85, where you want to take away the third-party dealings from doctors that deals with the Department of Labour. Are you going to have a department in place at the Department of Labour so we can deal directly just with that department? Or is it going to be in a black hole sometimes with the Department of Labour? Are you going to deal with that with all these doctors when they send forward? Because I see on the amendment, it's within 72 hours. You know, I'm from the X-ray department, so it's first casualty. And then according to those doctors at casualty, it comes to the X-ray department. Sometimes, you know, outlying areas for farm workers are that they only get to us, say, 24 to 30 hours later. And then we still, the time is ticking from the moment casualty already sent theirs through. So when we send ours through, how is that section going to handle then if there's not a third party dealing that we can send to and they deal with the Department of Labour?
Yeah, thank you, Madam, for affirming for your comment. But I need to follow up on the ladies. I think the general concern is, the reality is, the doctors, they don't want to treat because they're saying they're not paid. I understand your point on if the forms are not compliant. Yes, that makes sense. But the general concern with the doctors is we take long to get the claims, we are not paid, so we're not going to treat. So specifically, I wanted to put it out to say it's the payment issue. Thank you.
What effect will the implementation of the inspectors have on the rates in terms of current rates and future rates? The rate of payment.
Can you repeat that as current rate?
Currently, I'm paying 2.2% of my payroll. And will that percentile change over a period of time? Yes or no?
We are busy coming up with a new assessment model. So that assessment model, I don't know if it is passed to the end, how much we are going to pay them. But they are facing it in 3 years' time.
The new assessment model will take multi-tier approaches where you have farm workers and people working with machinery. You have a general worker that only picks up fruit, and the chances of being injured there are quite small.
We held an opening so that employers can make comments with regard to that. So all the comments that have been made have been consolidated. So they are going to check based on the comments because most of the employers had those concerns that we are having. So we are going to check them.
I think the problem you are facing is why. When somebody gets injured at work, they want to take the person to the private hospital only. Public hospital is still meant for us. Should that person not be able to get healed or not be able, like I give you a situation where the doctor are telling the person to go back because they are not treating the COIDA client. The option is that the person must be taken to the public hospital because bear in mind, even COIDA is a part of the public. So it's not a question of that if you are got injured, you're supposed to be treated special, that you have to go to the private only.
The question of doctors, I think it's a reality that, some of the doctors are saying we are not paying them. Remember, the compensation fund, there were some challenges, If you've got challenges, you must acknowledge that you've got challenges so that you are able to deal with those challenges. About 97% of the current senior managers of compensation fund are new. The older ones were, sent to other provinces. They are no longer part of that. We know that, they have not been paying doctors as required. That is why some of the doctors are very disgruntled. They don't know how to treat our patients. But currently, we are engaging, the doctors. The commissioner is engaging the doctors to say that, we are now going to pay the doctors tirelessly so that they could be able to assist the patients. Some, they're so disgruntled that even if the commissioner is trying to, talk to them, they still insist that they will not be in a position to assist. But we are now seeing improvement of some of the doctors because we said once a doctor, has treated the correct patient, that doctor, there must be a turnaround time of paying that doctor. So we are definitely, there are some strides, we are seeing lights at the end of the tunnel, but it's something that we are looking into going forward.
just have a comment to make with regards to bank payments and so forth. I am a service provider. I do work with injury on duty patients, and the doctors do refer to me. I'm in the paramedical field, occupational therapist, hand therapist. And there is a huge delay in payment, and there are system issues. I won't deny any of those. But I am supporting the proposal that the Department of Labour works directly with the service providers. I'm a small practice, so my experience has been that some of the third-party companies that work as a middleman between the practitioner and the compensation fund didn't really want to take me on board, being so small. So I was forced to continue dealing with the compensation fund, and it is possible. So I'm supporting of the fact that there would be improvement within the compensation fund of communication and working with the service provider directly. That's the first comment. The second comment I have is that I find that changes are made within the runnings of the fund, and I'll give you an example. So changes are made and implemented without the necessary notification and training. An example would be we're having a huge difficulty now with paramedical people having to apply for pre-authorization, and up to date, having applied for pre-authorization, as much as I am trying very hard to work, that system isn't running smoothly yet. It's been implemented, it's not running smoothly, no one's been given any training, and I'm talking as service providers, which causes an unbelievable backlog of administration on my side, but also I can only imagine the administration on the compensation fund side, which in turn then delays the claims, which delay the payments. So it would be more a request that if changes are due to happen, that those changes are made, but that the necessary communication and training is provided to service providers. Thank you.
Thank you for the comment. I just wanted to add something. The system that frustrates most of the doctors is our Homeco system.
It works. It's a good system.
No, to other people, because we've been to the whole country, people are complaining about the system being delaying system, rejecting their authentication numbers. But we've consulted, we are busy trying to build up a new system that will be a top-notch system, because we are benchmarking with various medical services providers, so that we can give you a system that gives you much more quicker turnaround times under the current system. That's a comment that I wanted to make.
Yeah, you know, I'm talking about the system. I'm not supposed to do that because it has got nothing to do with my presentation. But I'm privy to the information, to some of this information. This is the first time I hear, somebody saying Metro is doing very well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The system works, the support on the system is not good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but currently, we are facing out in Metro. And there is a new system that is coming. It's set system. A very good system. It's going to be a very good system. Even this delays of paying doctors is going to be things of the past. The payment of medical invoices also is going to be things of the past. So we're trying to get rid of Umelogo. There has been quite a number of configuration of Umelogo. I'm not an IT person, but I was told that if you can configure a system for more than 10 times, that means the system is obsolete.
My question would be, will there be training provided
there must
prior
be,
to the new system?
there has to be, there must be training.
Prior to
Yes, exactly, ma'am. There will be. You know what? I'm noting some of the comments that were communication, training, you know, the delaying the payment of medical invoices. So those are the issues that were noted.
Also, with regard to training, we bring training to Tzaneen. We once came here to train employers on the CF filing system. Employers were invited and most of them didn't show up. So we do sometimes provide training, but employers don't show up. Please ensure that you leave your details on our attendance register so that when we provide that training, we are able to send you an invite.
Good morning. My issue is about communication. I actually found this event by default. I don't know how you guys communicate and who do you communicate with. We leave email addresses. We attend so many events. Sometimes in Polokwane, we write our email addresses, but she was invited by me 2 days before. I got it from somebody else, not from labor. What's going on? You know, I don't understand. The trainings that we're talking about, we miss important information because communication does not go to the right people. It goes to the wrong people. I'm telling you, this room should be filled to capacity because there are so many employees. Where is Labor Tzaneen? They should know there are employees around Tzaneen. And these are not the only employers. We have a lot of employers and we've got issues, and Labor Tzaneen is silent. They're not doing anything. They're not helping us with anything. System challenges, there are so many issues that we will complain about. But who do we talk to? Where do we even complain? Nobody's listening to us. That's my biggest issue. And if I start with the complaints, I will have an endless list. So can you just get Department of Labor Tzaneen to start working? We're just asking for that.
Thank you, gentlemen. For the department. Okay. Again, I'm reiterating. The team which is here, please team up with organizations like SABPP. We will help each other to battle this. Because like I said, we scout around for HR professionals, and this is where now, it's a mammoth task. As a department, in reality, you cannot manage to do it all in once, I mean alone. So team up with organizations like us. We try to contact the province, even the Premier's office, in vain to say, SAPPP, like any other organizations, please team up with us because we are about the professionalization of the HR profession in the province, actually in the whole country. I'm speaking of Limpopo because I'm in the Limpopo committee. Please, I'm going to talk to you also.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Not sure. Communication.
Oh, yes.
No, I'm manager stakeholder relation, but we will exchange digits. My email is also there, my cell number is also there on the invite. So if you are not getting any joy from Tzaneen Labor Center, you can send me your concern, whatever, and give me a call. I'm available 24/7. And tomorrow we'll be in Polokwane. We will raise your concern about Labor Center Tzaneen. That is not communicating, that is not helping you. Because we issued this invite long time ago to them so that they can also distribute it to employers around them. So we'll relay the message, we'll see what to do. Can we get?
Alice. My question is, how long does it really take for the compensation to pay out? Because it myself, I have few employees who have submitted everything, but they're still in process for a while now. I just want to know how long does it really take for the compensation to pay out?
Okay. Let me give people from Polokwane provincial office to respond.
In terms of the payment, maybe we we should clarify. It's not every claim that equates to payment. That is number one. Then in terms of the medical expenses, we are paying within 60 working days. That is our turnaround time. But in terms of the benefits, number one, we make a decision on the claim. So if there is anything that which needs to be processed and paid, we will do the payment within 60 days, provided we have all the documents that we need to be to finalize a claim. For instance, if it's a permanent disability, remember you are also depending on the doctor to give us the final medical report. So from the day that we receive a final medical report, we can be able to finalize it within 60 working days if all the documents they are there. But if you have the specific claims that which you have currently, we can also check for you now, just after this, so that we clarify the issue and we close it for good.
Thanks. I think we have a lot of issues concerning compensation. But the main purpose of today was the public hearing on amendment. If there are any other operational matters that you need to deal with, we are here, we can address them after the session.
Sorry to come back to the amendments on the Diseases Act that you say we are not in compliance, the companies are not in compliance because you don't get any feedback. On the amendments of the Diseases Act, what do you classify as the diseases?
You know, what do we classify as a disease?
In terms of the disease, remember they are still talking about the occupational disease. The occupational disease is the one that which are classified under Schedule B. It doesn't change. They still remain the same. They were just indicating in terms of the reporting. Yes.
Super. And the second thing is you said you pay out after 60 days. After you finalized all the documentation, you received the first medical aid, the resumption reports, and the final reports. Some people are still not being paid since 2008. And then now with the system that's going to get amended again. The system was amended now how many times before, and then the numbers get lost in the system, and then the people are not even on the record anymore. So how's that going to affect us in the future?
It's in terms of data, we are not going to lose any data, but in terms of the payment, I'm still saying, if you've got a specific claim, because currently where I'm sitting now, I don't have anything that which needs to be paid that I need to pay. Currently where I'm sitting. So now, if there is any specific claim that you have, just after this, just bring that claim so that we add it just after the gathering, so that we don't disturb the proceeding of the day.
I think we should close because we are getting into operational matters.
This is also an operational question.
Yes, we will deal with the operational matters. We are here. We can ask your question. We are here until 1 o'clock or so. Please ensure that you have filled your attendance register, you have left your email addresses. If you have done so, there's a guy rolling around with the attendance register. This brings us to the end of our public hearing, but we are still here, we can still engage. We'd like to thank the people of Tzaneen. This was massive turnout, unlike in other regions where people didn't show up, but here this was massive. Thank you very much. In the near future, we will invite you. I have your your email addresses on the database now. Whatever happens in the compensation fund, you will be the first to be having that information. So even if you are not getting any joy anyway, you can send me an email. I'll try and scan it, and I'll try and help as much as I can. Thank you very much.